The first thing that disappears in a total blackout isn't light, it's certainty. One moment your phone shows full bars, the next it's a dead rectangle reflecting your own confused face, and suddenly you realize how much of your life runs on invisible electricity. Elevators freeze between floors, water pressure starts to cough instead of flow, grocery stores go dark and quiet like abandoned movie sets, and the city doesn't explode into chaos right away. That's the lie. The real danger is the slow, silent unraveling over the first 8 days, when people assume help is coming tomorrow, and tomorrow keeps slipping away. The first tactic looters use is something called noise probing, and it starts within hours. When everything goes dark, silence becomes data. People moving through neighborhoods aren't just looking for stuff, they're listening. A single generator hum, a radio playing, a dog barking too consistently, those sounds travel far without background noise, and the human ear can pinpoint them with terrifying accuracy. Sound waves bounce differently in quiet environments, especially at night, and looters exploit this instinctively. Outsmarting this isn't about being silent all the time, it's about controlled inconsistency. Short bursts of noise during daylight, nothing repetitive after dark, and never letting sound originate from the same location twice. You want to blend into randomness, not signal stability. Silence isn't safety, unpredictability is. Once they know who's home, looters escalate into testing boundaries. This is where the second tactic appears: social engineering under stress. Someone knocks politely. Someone asks for help. Someone claims there's a fire down the street or that they're injured. In blackouts, the brain's empathy circuits override caution, especially when cortisol is high. Military and disaster response manuals warn that deception is one of the oldest asymmetric warfare tools because humans are wired to cooperate under threat. Outsmarting this doesn't mean becoming heartless, it means removing access. You do not open doors, you do not engage face-to-face. Communication happens through barriers, at distance with clear exit options. Compassion without control gets people killed in collapses. Boundaries keep you alive long enough to help later. If probing doesn't work, looters switch to the third tactic: light triangulation. Even a candle flicker behind curtains can silhouette a human body from hundreds of feet away. The eye is absurdly sensitive to contrast in darkness. That's why soldiers tape over LEDs and use red light at night. Outsmarting this means understanding light physics, not buying blackout curtains and calling it a day. Light leaks through door frames, vents, reflective surfaces, even skin. You control this by centralizing light sources low to the ground, shielding them with opaque barriers, and never backlighting yourself. Darkness outside doesn't mean darkness inside, it means disciplined, light discipline. This principle is straight out of military field manuals for night operations. When visibility fails, looters rely on the fourth tactic: pattern recognition over time. They watch. They wait. Humans are creatures of habit, and in prolonged blackouts, routines return faster than you think. Same window checks, same meal times, same trash disposal. From a distance, this tells looters how many people are inside, who leaves, who doesn't, and when you're vulnerable. Outsmarting this requires intentional randomness. Meals shift times, sleep cycles stagger, movements rotate rooms. You are not trying to hide, you're trying to become impossible to model. In survival psychology, predictability equals vulnerability, and unpredictability forces predators to move on to easier targets. Once confidence builds, the fifth tactic comes out: resource exhaustion. Looters may not attack you directly. Instead, they cut access. They block exits. They contaminate water sources. They steal from nearby houses to force movement. This is siege behavior, and it shows up in every prolonged collapse from Sarajevo to New Orleans. Biology explains why this works. Humans panic faster from scarcity than from threat. Outsmarting this means decentralization. Never store all supplies in one location. Cache water separately. Keep at least one concealed exit. Movement equals survival, but only when movement is planned before pressure forces it. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. The sixth tactic is the most dangerous because it looks like safety. Group absorption. Looters will present themselves as protectors, offering security in numbers, asking you to merge resources for everyone's good. In collapse dynamics, larger groups fail faster due to internal conflict, unequal contribution, and resource strain. Studies in disaster sociology show that trust collapses exponentially as group size increases under scarcity. Outsmarting this isn't about isolation, it's about alliances without cohabitation. Information sharing, mutual observation, and coordinated warning systems work. Resource pooling does not. You survive by staying small, quiet, and hard to read. Here's the truth nobody likes hearing. Looters don't target the weakest homes, they target the most obvious ones. Strength attracts challenge. Weakness attracts exploitation. The safest position in a blackout isn't dominance, it's ambiguity. You want to look boring, silent, empty, and unpredictable all at once. The moment you understand that looting is a science of human behavior, not just theft, you stop preparing like a consumer and start thinking like a survivor. Because when the lights go out permanently, the real danger isn't hunger or darkness or even violence, it's being understood by the wrong people.